Right now, 5:30, an overnight break-in has Lexington police revisiting other recent robberies. We'll explain just ahead.
Also on WKYT this morning, we have learned some new details regarding Lexington's most recent murder case. A closer look at the man who's accused coming up this morning.
And we'll take another look at Wednesday's mass shooting where a couple took the lives of 14 people and injured multiple others. Now police are looking for a motive.
This is WKYT This Morning.
It's Friday. Good morning and welcome into WKYT. Glad to have you along. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope you're having a great start to your Friday. A heartbreaking loss for the Cats yesterday.
10-point loss, behind at the half. They thought they could come back. They didn't. We move on, right?
Yes, we do. And we move on, hopefully, Micah, to some decent weather this weekend.
Yeah, it looks really good this weekend. We're going to see temperatures this afternoon, more seasonable, right there in the upper 40s to around 50 degrees. That's daytime highs. That's normal for this time of year. We're at 25 in Lexington, 26 in Lexington at 26, Richmond at 25. Big parade going on later on this evening there in Madison County at Richmond. Should be a really good time. I mean, yeah, it's going to be on the chilly side, as you see right around 41, 42 degrees there by the time parades get going later on this evening. But all in all, it's a great looking day. A lot of sunshine, guys. We're going to be talking about your weekend because this is actually start of a warming trend. We get into your weekend, we'll be in the 50s. I'll show you that coming up.
Okay, because we all like the weekend, a little time off. Let's get to the news. The man being charged with Lexington's latest murder will make his first court appearance today.
Yeah, police say 22-year-old Terry Farrell is accused of killing 18-year-old Jamal Gossett last month. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain is joining us from the live desk with some new details in the case. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, we're learning the man accused of murdering 18-year-old Jamal Gossett is from Louisville. According to 23-year-old Terry Farrell's arrest citation, he and Gossett were strangers. Police say Gossett was murdered on November 22nd after he was robbed by Farrell. That night, police say they found 18-year-old Gossett shot to death in the driver's seat of his SUV on Kent Drive in the Joyland neighborhood. Family and friends say goodbye to the teenager on Monday at his funeral. Gossett was a recent graduate of Bryan Station High School. Farrell was arrested yesterday in Lexington and is charged with murder and first-degree robbery. He will be arraigned later this afternoon. At the live desk, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
Michelle, thank you. For the second night in a row, Lexington police are dealing with a break-in at a restaurant, and once again, the burglar has gotten in through a vent in the roof, going right through it to get inside.
Yeah, a creative method. Police responded to a report of a burglary at Captain D's at New Circle and Russell Cave. We're told the suspect was caught on tape, but got away before the officers got there. Yesterday morning, someone used the roof to get inside a Zaxby's. That's just up the road from the burglary that happened this morning. In that case, the suspect stole money. While there are quite a bit of similarities in the cases, police tell us it's too soon to tell if the same person is behind both break-ins.
Caught on surveillance video, police say a Grinch stole packages that were meant to be Christmas gifts from a Madison County home. The home is in a neighborhood off Jacks Creek Pike on the north edge of Richmond. The video shows a woman in a red car walking up to the front porch of a home and stealing packages that had been delivered there. The homeowner shared the surveillance video with us. Police say they still have not found the woman.
Federal investigators are now analyzing computers and other electronic devices as they try to figure out why this married couple out in California killed 14 people.
And more than a dozen were injured as well at that holiday office party on Wednesday. Chris Martinez has the latest from San Bernardino, California.
As thousands gathered at a candlelight and prayer vigil last night to remember the victims killed in San Bernardino, the focus turns to what motivated Saeed Rizwan Farouk and his wife Tashfeen Malik to execute mass murder.
We are in so much shock.
Sarah Khan and her husband Farhan were related to the suspects who died in a shootout with police.
I can never imagine my brother or my sister-in-law doing something like this, especially because they were happily married. They have a beautiful 6-month-old daughter.
Investigators say Farouk traveled to Saudi Arabia and Pakistan last year and returned with Malik, who came to the U.S. on a fiancé visa. While the couple was not on any terror watch list, law enforcement sources tell CBS News Farouk had been in contact with people both in the U.S. and overseas with possible ties to terrorism.
What it adds up to me was that this is a guy who was probably radicalized by either ISIS or Al-Qaeda.
Officials recovered thousands of bullets and more than a dozen pipe bombs inside the couple's home. CBS News has learned those devices were made from Christmas tree lights and radio-controlled toys.
Clearly they were equipped and they could have continued to do another attack. We intercepted them before that happened.
Authorities are now searching for the person they say legally bought 2 military-style rifles used in the massacre. Chris Martinez, CBS News, San Bernardino, California.
A law enforcement source said the suspect's explosive devices are nearly a carbon copy of bomb constructing instructions provided in an Al-Qaeda magazine.
Lexington's food truck community is now coming together to show support for the family of a Western Kentucky couple killed in a crash. Friends say 76-year-old Joseph Beamer and 73-year-old Cynthia Beamer were preparing to celebrate their 25th wedding anniversary. It was all cut short when they were hit head-on Wednesday morning in a crash on Versailles Road. Shortly after being taken to the hospital, the couple died within minutes of each other. The couple's daughter and son-in-law recently opened a barbecue restaurant in Lexington called Bradford Barbecue. But while their family mourns the loss, their restaurant remains closed. Up in smoke, barbecue owner Jamie Griffin says the Beamer's daughter and son-in-law were big proponents of getting food trucks established in Lexington. So now those in the industry want to help the couple out in their time of grief.
I know as far as their priorities go, likely they could care less about that right now, and I understand that totally. However, the reality of the situation is that they make a good portion of their income from this. So perhaps that is a way that I or someone else can help.
Griffin, along with other food truck owners, have started a fundraising page to help the Beamers family out until they can reopen. As for the other driver whose truck hit the Beamers, Lexington police say it's too early in the investigation to know if any charges will be filed.
Time this morning is 5:36 on WKYT. The attorney for a small-town police chief says charges against his client don't make any sense. Science Hill Police Chief Robbie Gossett is accused of theft and abuse of power involving totals of at least $10,000. Gossett was indicted Wednesday and turned himself in yesterday morning before posting bond. According to the indictment, the charges against Gossett stem from incidents in 2008 and 2009. Yesterday, we spoke with Gossett's attorney, who calls those charges shocking.
At this time, we're at a loss for what these charges could possibly stem from. If there was this, a fear of Mr. Gossett being an embezzler, why in the world would it take 6 or 7 years, almost 8 years, to indict him for this crime?
The mayor of Science Hill says the city council will have a council meeting and discuss Gossett's future. But for now, they're going to let the situation play out in court. Gossett's arraignment is scheduled for December 22nd. His attorney says he will plead not guilty.
It's an incredible piece of video seen by millions of people around the world. A dash cam captured video of a deer hitting a police cruiser, and then it went flying through the air.
Yeah, right here in Kentucky, the Northern Kentucky Sheriff's Department deputy who was behind the wheel is speaking out now about how his close call has become such an internet sensation. WKYT's Mike Byer is at our live desk with that officer's reaction. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Nearly 47% of all collisions with deer annually take place during the months of October, November, and December. This according to Kentucky State Police. And now an officer from Northern Kentucky is speaking out for the first time after surviving a deer crash of his own. Kenton County Police posted this dash cam video of a deer hitting one of its police cruisers and flying into the air before running off. The police department posted this video to their Facebook page, which has gathered over 2 million views. It all started when Officer Chris Pitaluga hit an 8-point buck while on patrol Sunday afternoon. The officer wasn't injured and his cruiser suffered only minor damage. Officer Pitaluga recently spoke for the first time since the accident.
I figured, get some attention around Northern Kentucky, but I never expected it to get over 2 million likes and all the news networks, around North America and Europe carrying it.
Believe it or not, Kentucky State Police say deer claim the largest amount of lives in the U.S. Troopers say the highest likelihood for a deer collision are in the evening hours between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. and in the morning between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. At the live desk, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right. Thank you so much, Mike. Some crazy video there. Well, First Lady Jane Beshear will be hosting an unveiling party this morning to introduce a new mobile cancer screening unit. At 10 this morning, Beshear will unveil the Horses and Hope screening van at the Keeneland Library. It's a result of a $1 million initiative to provide free and reduced cost screenings for up to 7 cancer types. The hope is that the new screening van will encourage healthy behaviors while offering screenings for underserved populations across Kentucky.
Well, names have been proposed for 2 new elementary schools now under construction in Fayette County. If approved by the Board of Education, the new school on Passage Mound Way off Polo Club would be called Garrett Morgan Elementary. Morgan, a Paris native, created and patented several inventions, including the current model of the traffic light. As for the new school on Georgetown Road, if it's approved by the board, it would be named Coventry Oak Elementary, a nod to the neighborhoods in that area. The Board of Education will be voting on the proposed names on December 14th.
This morning, we now know when the new Abraham Lincoln Bridge in Louisville will open. Yesterday, state road crews announced the bridge will open to traffic Monday morning. The bridge will carry northbound Interstate 65 over the Ohio to southern Indiana. The neighboring Kennedy Bridge will be renovated in the coming months. It'll carry southbound traffic, so another option for you to get around town if you happen to be over there in Louisville.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I don't promise this, so you check on it before you make the trip, but I think you can walk on it tomorrow. I think they're going to allow people to, pedestrians on it for a
nice
while.
little jog.
Before it gets going there Monday. All right, 5:40 is the time. Let's check live drive traffic, see what is going on here on your Friday. And we have a lot of green on there. It looks good as far as normal traffic flow for most locations. At this point, no reports of any issues, and the current travel times are pretty good as well. You can get into Lexington from Nicholsville Road in about 13 minutes, Versailles Road an 11-minute trip, and about a normal 33 or so minute commute out of Richmond this morning. Average speed down just a little bit out of Richmond. There's some fog at the Clays Ferry Bridge, and not only at the bridge, but for about a mile either side of it. So keep that in mind if you're traveling.
All right.
A lot more news coming up on WKYT this morning.
Some middle schoolers in Iowa are using their skills to get help into the holiday spirit. We'll take a look after the break.
So we're looking outside with clear skies. Things look really nice, very cold. Then we look back west. There is nothing going on. So no rain in your forecast for your weekend. What does that mean for our temperatures? I'll have that coming up next.